know that guy you see around, calm, with a light expression, without that look of someone carrying the weight of the world on their shoulders? Well, it's not always about luck or destiny. Many times it's because he's discovered a path that many still hesitate to accept, that of being single by choice. And more than that, happy with that choice. Maybe you yourself have wondered, why do some single men seem more fulfilled and more at peace than those who live jumping from relationship to relationship? Today, you're going to understand. Now, I need you to pay attention to what I'm going to say, because what you're about to hear could open your eyes. There are psychological, emotional, and even behavioral reasons that explain why so many men, when they break free from certain ties, rediscover a much lighter and more powerful version of themselves. And look, it has nothing to do with hate speech or the war of the sexes. It's about freedom, self-knowledge, and about having real control over your own life. If this resonated with you, stick with me until the end of this video, because I'm going to show you 12 reasons why so many single men are, yes, happier. And some of these, my friend, you might not even imagine. Before we continue, I need to tell you something. This video only reached you because someone liked it and subscribed to our channel. Now it's your turn to do the same. Leave a like, subscribe, and hit the bell so this chain of knowledge keeps growing and reaching more people. Also, comment down below which city you're watching from, because I want to know how far this video is traveling. Now, no more delays, let's get to the good stuff. First reason, they don't have to deal with constant emotional demands. Imagine getting home after a tough day, head full, body tired, and instead of having a moment of rest, you're faced with that heavy atmosphere in the air. Questions like, why didn't you text me today? Zrenia, почему вы так долго ответили? Zrenia, or worse, that loaded silence that says more than 1,000 words. Many men don't even realize how much this type of emotional demand gradually drains their mental and emotional energy. When a man chooses to be single, one of the first things he notices is the relief of not having to manage these constant demands. It's like taking an invisible weight off his shoulders. It's not about not wanting affection, but about not living in a kind of emotional surveillance where every simple attitude can turn into a reason for conflict or tension. Without these daily demands, the mind breathes, the routine becomes lighter, and this, inevitably, is reflected in more balance and happiness. Now, think with me, how many times have you stopped doing something you wanted or felt guilty just to avoid a new demand? The freedom of not having to explain every step, every message, or every momentary absence creates a valuable space, that of authenticity. And a man who lives without this type of pressure starts to live more for himself, and not out of fear of displeasing the other person. If you're tired of watching her play games, ignore you, and do whatever she wants with your feelings, it's time to show who's in charge of the game. It's time to make her chase you and recognize your true value. In the first pinned comment, I've left a step-by-step guide on how to make her pursue you. Plus, you'll level up and become the best version of yourself. Click now. Second reason, they have less emotional stress in their daily lives. Let's be honest. In many relationships, especially when there's wear and tear, the man starts to live with a constant level of tension, even if he doesn't realize it. Small arguments, unspoken expectations, emotional games. All of this accumulates. When you're single, that emotional burden disappears. It's not that all of life's problems vanish, of course, but you feel a lightness in the air. Your emotional energy stops being consumed by unnecessary conflicts. This reduction in stress has a profound impact on well-being. You wake up more rested, face the challenges of the day with more mental clarity, and even your body responds better. After all, living in constant emotional alert wears down not only the mind but also the body. Single, the man has more space to focus on what really matters to him, without that emotional background noise draining his energy. And this doesn't mean becoming a hermit or someone without connections. On the contrary, it's about being emotionally whole to better choose with whom and how to relate, without carrying an unnecessary burden in your daily life. Third reason, they sleep better without interruptions or late-night arguments. Few people talk about this, but the impact of quality sleep on happiness and emotional balance is huge. And believe it, many men in troubled relationships have their sleep constantly sabotaged. Arguments that start late at night, insistent messages, fights that keep you awake, and even the tense atmosphere that forms in the bedroom affects the ability to get deep rest too much. Being single, this changes radically. The man has control over his space and his nighttime routine. He can lie down whenever he wants, get up when he feels like it, and most importantly, sleep in peace. That restorative sleep that recharges the mind and body. It may seem like a small detail, but in the long run, this transforms the quality of life. More sleep, more energy, more emotional clarity. A rested man sees life from a different perspective. And this is one of the great gains that being single offers, often underestimated. Fourth reason, they don't live according to someone else's mood or needs. Now, tell me something. How many times have you shaped your behavior just to avoid treading on eggshells with someone emotionally unstable? Many men enter a cycle where their partner's mood defines how the day will be, whether it will be light or tense, whether there will be peace or conflict. This creates a suffocating emotional dependence. Being single, the man regains control of his own emotional state. He no longer needs to worry if a sideways glance or a misinterpreted word will ruin the whole day. His happiness and his mood start to depend more on himself and not on another person. This emotional autonomy brings an enormous sense of personal power, because deep down, living as a hostage to someone else's emotions undermines self-esteem and balance. When a man breaks free from this, he becomes stronger, more confident, and much happier. Fifth reason, they have more financial control and freedom of spending. Let's touch on a point that almost no one openly comments on: the financial burden of many relationships. Gifts, dinners, trips, small obligations that arise. And suddenly you realize that a good part of your money is being spent not exactly as you would like, but to maintain a balance in the relationship. When a man is single, he has complete freedom over his own money. He can invest in what really matters to him: a new course, a dream trip, that hobby that has been put aside for years. And more than that, he goes back to having a clear financial plan without surprises or unexpected demands. This sense of control brings more security and satisfaction. After all, money is energy, and when you decide where and how to use that energy, your life becomes more aligned with your own values and dreams. This generates a genuine feeling of happiness and accomplishment. Sixth reason, they don't need to justify every step or choice they make. You know that feeling of always being watched, of needing to explain why you went out with friends, why you took so long to reply, why you wanted a moment alone. Many men, even in seemingly good relationships, live in this constant state of justification. It's exhausting. Being single, this disappears. You regain complete autonomy over your choices. Want to travel on the weekend? Go. Want to spend the whole Saturday on the couch, binge watching a series? No one will hold you accountable for it. This freedom to simply be yourself, without the need to justify or ask permission, rescues a simple and profound pleasure, that of living life according to your own rhythm and desires. This isn't selfishness, it's balance, and many men rediscover this joy when they decide to stay single for a while. Seventh reason, they are less likely to suffer from betrayals or lies. Let's face reality, The fear of being betrayed or deceived haunts many men in relationships. Even when there is trust, there is always that shadow of doubt, fueled by past experiences or by stories we hear from others. This fear generates constant anxiety and often ends up affecting the relationship. Being single, this type of worry goes away. There is no possibility of being betrayed when you are not tied to anyone. This generates a mental peace that is difficult to describe. It's as if a part of the mind, which was always on alert before, could finally relax. This tranquility makes space for the man to focus on his own growth, his achievements, and his life. And when, in the future, he decides to enter a new relationship, he will do so with more awareness and less emotional baggage. 8th reason, they can follow their own values without molding themselves to anyone. In many relationships, the man ends up, little by little, giving up certain convictions or shaping his values to fit the expectations of the other person. This doesn't happen consciously, but it undermines authenticity and self-esteem. When he's single, he has the opportunity to realign himself with his own values, to live according to what he really believes in, without having to negotiate or sacrifice important parts of himself. This strengthens his identity and generates a sense of personal integrity that is deeply satisfying. After all, being true to yourself is one of the greatest pillars of true happiness. 9th reason, they don't have the stress of dealing with toxic families and mothers-in-law. Have you ever stopped to think about how much a relationship can put you in constant contact with people you would never have chosen to be around? And worse, often these are people who criticize you, manipulate you, or put you in uncomfortable situations, like certain mothers-in-law or toxic families. This, over time, drains your well-being and creates an invisible but real emotional wear and tear. When a man is single, he automatically distances himself from these circles. He no longer has to make forced visits, endure loaded conversations, or deal with demands that don't make sense. The peace that comes from this distancing is something that many people only realize when they are free from these situations. And more. With this freedom, the man manages to strengthen the bonds that really matter, with friends, blood family, or chosen family who add value and don't suck energy. It's a quality of life that is priceless. 10th reason, they don't live with the constant fear of being replaced or rejected. In fragile or insecure relationships, many men live with that hidden fear that at any moment they will be replaced, rejected, or abandoned. This erodes self-confidence, fuels anxiety, and ends up turning the man into someone more insecure and emotionally dependent. When you're single, that fear ceases to exist. There is no longer the game of comparison, insecurity, constant doubt. The man starts to live more in the present without that ghost haunting his thoughts. This state of emotional freedom allows him to recover his balance, his self-esteem, and his true inner strength. And over time, he realizes that it is much better to live in peace with himself than in constant fear of losing someone. 11th reason, they can go out with friends without guilt or negotiation. How many times does a simple invitation to go out with friends turn into a negotiation or even a reason for an argument? Many men feel they need to ask permission to have moments of leisure with people they like. This generates guilt and frustration, and little by little it distances the man from his own social circles. When he's single, everything changes. He regains the freedom to go out whenever he wants, with whoever he wants, without guilt or demands. These moments of relaxation, of connection with friends, are fundamental to the emotional health of any man. Having complete control over your social time not only strengthens friendships, but also helps maintain a healthy balance in life. After all, true friendships are also a powerful source of happiness. 12th reason, They value friendships without relationship restrictions. In many relationships, friends, especially long-time friends, end up being set aside because of jealousy, insecurity, or control. Little by little, the man sees his social circle shrink until one day he realizes he is isolated. This is more common than you think. When he's single, he has the chance to reconnect with his friendships without restrictions, without having to measure his words or justify meetings, and more. He can meet new people more naturally and freely. This rescue of genuine relationships brings a feeling of belonging and balance that goes far beyond what a forced relationship could offer. True friends are emotional anchors, and a man who values them lives happier and more fulfilled. If this video made a difference for you, leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Every video we create here is thought out with great care, always with the aim of helping you develop and achieve your best version. We want to share practical and direct tips that really impact your life positively. So don't waste time and comment below with the word gratitude and the phrase "in search of my best version." With this, the algorithm will take this video to even more men who are looking for growth. Your engagement in the comments is essential so that our content reaches those who need these tips the most. In addition, your support with a like and subscribing to the channel strengthens our work and motivates us to continue creating valuable content for your journey. The more you interact, the more men will also have access to this type of information, which only helps our mission to transform lives. So thank you for being with us on this journey. Stay tuned for the next videos, because we are always bringing new things to help you evolve. Big hug and see you in the next video.